Yo, what's up, guys? It's me, your boy, the WokeWarrior. Which, by the way, okay, basically means that I'm a warrior against woke. I'm not one of those, queer, whatever. Anyway, today, we will be disproving the woke theory of transgenderism by playing the game, which is the epitome of knowledge, Scribblenauts Unlimited. Now, okay, I remember playing this game when I was like 5 years old. And I remember thinking, wow, this game has so many fucking words, and you know, but you know, now we're gonna use it because it's such an expansive database. It's basically like the Bible, if you ever heard of the Bible. It's basically this book. You have to Google it in your own time. I think you've heard of it. It's a really niche book. But before we start, I implore you guys to go look at the description. Okay, now look at the description, because you're gonna find my new GoFundMe, which I am using to pay my custody fees, because Karen, you know, she's a bitch. She won't allow me to see my kids. And also I need to pay my legal fees for I was at a school, you know, I was just creeping outside. Not creeping, not creeping. I'm not a creep. I was debating with students at this middle school, and this kid, they saw me and screamed and thought I was a creep. So I punched them, and I assumed they were woke, because, you know, I punched them in their gender, you know. But yeah, you should totally pay these fees for me. Anyway, sorry, sidetracked. Without further ado, let's start this proof that gender ideology is fake and made up by the libs. Okay, let's press this continue button. Now, okay, you'll notice. First thing you'll notice, right, is that my Maxwell is green. Now, of course, I didn't just accidentally make him green. You know, it's by design, because, you know, what do you think of when you think the color green? I'll give you a second. That's right. You think money. You think capitalism. You think about lefties who hate the color green because, you know, it represents money, it represents it just represents everything good in society, as you know it. And you know, it also represents Ronald Reagan, who was famously green. He was the first green president to ever exist. And, you know, they don't teach you that in fucking Harvard or wherever, fucking Stanford, whatever woke college you go to. They're too busy teaching these gender-confused individuals about, you know, genitals, about transing their gender, about DEI. You ever heard of DEI? It means diversity, estrogen, Inuits, I think. I don't know, it's something woke. I hate Inuits, by the way. They suck. But everyone's fucking transgender these days. Who cares? And you know, I can go to treat like every race is equal. I know a thing or two about races. I've watched a couple races in my life. There's always a winner in those. They are not equal. It's all about the competition. You know, it's about winning the race. But nowadays they're just giving out participation trophies to anyone who's participating. And that's horrible. I mean, and, you know, you can get kicked out for being, you know, a conservative god like me. And, you know, if you did a couple crimes like essay a child or grape a child, now that's crazy, right? I mean, I thought it was about the skill, not about these woke lefties fucking thoughts. It's terrible. It's a horror. But, you know, hold on before we start. Can we get a moment of silence for our brother from another mother and another father? In fact, we aren't related at all. I'm not sure why I said brother. Can we get a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk? Okay, that's enough. Now, can we get a moment of silence for our another brother, Jeffrey Epstein, the biggie? You know, it's not like estrogen though. He never take estrogen or mutilated kids. Dr. Fauci. But yeah, moment of silence for him. And, you know, he was a good friend to our fucking God Emperor Trump. You know, I'm glad we took that moment of silence. And of course, before I start, a shout out to Jesus, okay, Jesus. You know, there's three things you associate Jesus with: being Republican, guns, and being white. That's the most important part, by the way. He was white. he's not, he wasn't fucking Middle Eastern or whatever these woke scholars are saying. Where is the Middle East anyway? Probably somewhere westward, like California. Ooh, maybe California's part of the Middle East. Because you know how it is with their woke president there, with their woke governors. California is a shithole, but Texas, now that's home. Now that's actually where I'm from, by the way. I'm from the God-given, unwoke, incredible town of Texas. I went there, get a good whiskey with my boy Bob. Now Bob, he's a riot. If you get to know him, he talks all about how the lefties are trash. He would give you incredible arguments about leftist theory, a critical race theory, if you know what that is. Bet you don't. I don't need to explain it. It's fine. It's woke. But they got him in prison. I think he's a sex offender or something like that. I forget the charge, but I know he's like on the sex offender registry. And honestly, anyone who's an offender, is good in my books. Because you shouldn't be afraid to offend anyone. Facts do not care about your feelings. That's what my boy what's his name? Benjamin Netanyahu, there we go, that's his name. That's what he said. And we're on the topic of, Benjamin Netanyahu, whatever the fuck his name is. The Israelites. They could, I can't, okay, listen, I'm not saying their name, but they control everything. It was raining outside, there was a flood outside, and, shit, I think I see one less child to worry about. But, it's them, I can't say who, but it's them using their weather machines, to kill off any anyone who isn't that Israelite, and they also give it to the Middle Easterns sometimes, to try to end the white race, with rain, because as we all know, when rain touches us, when any water touches us, that's why we don't take showers. It's our weakness. It hurts us a lot. And what happened to decency in this country? And I remember the days when hold on, wasn't I doing something? Oh, fuck, right, sorry, guys. I was ranting for so long that I forgot that I'm here to disprove the transgender ideology. Right, okay, here it is. So if you press enter, right, you get to write an object, you get to write, man. Okay. wrong type of man. There we go, that's the correct type of man. But yeah, it spawns someone. And you can add like sad. Oh, this one's perfect. He has blonde hair. But yeah, you can add adjectives to them. But look what happens. Transgender doesn't know what it is. He knows what translunar is. I don't know what the fuck that is. It sounds woke. It kind of sounds woke as well, but I forget it. It's probably it's probably a term I don't know of. But it doesn't accept that. But you know what it does accept? It accepts patriot. Hold on. No, that's not the right type of patriot. No, it's not. No, male patriot. There we go. Now that spawns a beautiful, proud 14-year-old patriot. And God bless our American soldiers who bravely died in Iran. I can't say I remember the country. It's one of them. It's one of them countries, But this proves this game really has every word in it. Like even these complicated words that I don't understand, like chicken. Like what's chicken the bird? Holy shit! You can look, it can fly. Holy shit! Oh my god! Hold on. Let's shoot it. Holy, oh, yummy. whoa, okay, I'm sorry. Whoa, okay, calm down, okay. But anyway, and anyway, oh my God. If it's true, okay, hold on, hold on there. Oh God, oh God, hold on, hold on. But anyway, you know, if you know, the point is, this has like every word, right? If it truly, if transgenders were truly real, then you know, it have the word transgender in it, but it doesn't. It just not it doesn't even have trans in it. Trans guy, like, there's tall guy, brother. Oh my, I killed him. But anyway, if it was real, I mean, it's not in this game, which is basically the Bible. By the way, look up the Bible. I don't know if I've said that, but you know, you should look up the Bible. But I own the fucking libs. You know, I can't wait to look at the comments right now. You know, look at the comments, and there's gonna be a lot of lib tears. You know, they're very salty. I've had tears before. It's very, I've cried a lot. But you know, for me, the woke warrior, I'm gonna drink all your lib tears, and I'm gonna sustain off them. Mic drop. No, I don't know if mic comes in, but imagine I could drop my mic. You know, that'd be really cool. But yeah, I hate clowns. Hold on. Get out the fucking way. Get out the way. Stop it. Okay, I need this clown dead. Oh, I can't kill the clown? No, I can kill the clown. Hold on. I don't really like clowns. But, yeah, that's it. I just threw gender ideology in, like, a minute. This video is like a minute. I'm sure I didn't ramble too long. But that's it. Video over. Remember, gun rights. and I'll shoot you later. Gender! Goodbye.
I walk around like gay.